restrain yourself with what you can't find.
Barbara Manning may have been out of sight, but never out of mind. After a 20-year layoff, Barbara is back with a new album titled Charm of Yesterday, Convenience of Tomorrow. Barbara's had a special relationship with New Zealand ever since she recorded with Kiwis like Chris Knox, David Kilgour, and Graham Downes back in 1997. We spoke to Barbara about her Kiwi connection, the new album, and her pet tortoise.
Find a cause for letting go.
Oh, I have a chance to show you my tortoise.
Oh, please do. Oh my God, that's fantastic. Does he have a name?
Yeah, I named him Ptolemy.
Okay.
Like a the Ptolemaic terrascope.
Right. And he's your pet?
Yeah, he's my pet. He's adorable. Yesterday I was laying on the grass and he just came up and was like smelling me and loving me. It's just so sweet. Yeah, he and the cat. Those are me and my husband's two pets. So you're in Auckland, but you're an American.
Well, yes, that's true. I moved
Lucky
here.
duck.
I moved here in '94. In fact, I saw you at the Luna thing here in '97. Was it? Yeah, March '97. I saw you play here.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite times in my life. Like March 1997. It's amazing.
That's good to hear. So yeah, so you have this. It seems like a unique connection to New Zealand. Tell me how that happened.
Wow. I guess I made it happen.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
I mean, ultimately, it was something I had to do, is go there, and it meant so much to me. All the music, it sort of changed my life, and so I had to go. I had to go and explore it and meet the musicians and the people who worked on the records. And
right.
Just I'm laughing because my tortoise is underneath the bench and he's bumping up because he likes the attention. He's letting me know he's there. But New Zealand is magical to me. It always will be. I hope, like, in a weird way, I know it sounds kind of weird, but I would like to have my ashes spread there, or at least some of them, you know.
Yeah, all right.
Like,
well, hopefully that won't happen soon, but we'll see.
But as far as New Zealand being attached to me, I don't think so. I think
well,
I don't know if it's a two-way street.
I think it might be.
Sure, yeah, it's an amazing place, and I've turned so many people onto the music.
Right.
And I've even been interviewed. I remember one time when I was in San Francisco, still living in San Francisco, and somebody called saying they wanted to do an interview on Auckland radio. I was so excited. And
right.
The only thing they interviewed me about were other bands.
Right.
Like, wanting to know what I thought of other bands, like nothing about my own music. So I was like, okay, I get it.
We'll get to your own music, I guarantee you.
Well, another cool thing is that I lived in places that were room for. Oh wait, you have to see both the cat and the tortoise.
Okay,
now.
sure. Yep.
That's just, they're so funny. Let's see if I can. How do I do this? Oh yeah, like this. I can.
Oh yep. Okay. Yeah, I see them.
The tortoise and the cat. See, the cat and the tortoise, they have a weird relationship.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. My daughter has a
they
cat.
Weren't doing anything fun, so I'll go back.
My daughter has a cat exactly like that.
We call them tuxedo cats, but I've heard them call them police car cats.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a doll. The cats are amazing. I want a dog eventually, but I don't think I can have one. That's why we got the tortoise. I'm pretty sure that was my husband's plan was, if you get the tortoise, you don't need a dog.
I can't argue with that.
But actually, the tortoise loves dogs. That's the thing. He adores dogs. He chases them, follows them around, wants to play with them.
Right.
Yeah. So he wishes the cat would play with him, but the cat won't.
Yeah. And it's Thanksgiving there, right?
Yeah. Well, see, the cat likes to get close to the tortoise when I am talking to the tortoise.
Okay.
So as soon as I'm like dealing with the tortoise, if I call the tortoise, the cat comes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But anyway, he's jealous. I understand that feeling. I get that way with girl bands.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Like, start talking about other female musicians and I'll be like,
okay.
Not terrible, but it's true.
So getting back to your New Zealand thing, when you were here, you were like, you were hanging out with like Chris Knox and the Bats and all these folks. So what did they think of you? What did you think of them?
What they thought of me. That could be anything, actually. Well, so okay, I'll try to. I see where you're trying to ask me about. So I'm gonna now go in that vein.
Okay, and then we'll get to your record, because this is
when I realized that I had enough money from Matador,
right,
to record a second record with the money they gave me. So they gave me enough money to record a record, but I was really able to record more than one record with the same money.
right.
So I thought, well, I'll take the money and I'll go to New Zealand, and I'm not afraid to just try to record a song with somebody right in the moment. Like, just let's go, let's record a song.
Yeah.
So I went with only really one song written, which is Optimism is Its Own Reward, which wait, is that the name of the song? No, Everything Happens by Itself. Yeah. Sorry, I get my songs mixed up a lot.
Right.
I had one song, and then I wanted to take with me the backing band that I've been using for a year, because for the year I was using the boys from Spoke, or Giant Sand, because Calexico didn't exist yet.
Yep.
And they recorded 1212 with me, and that had just come out when I was in New Zealand. And then they were more than willing to be hired to come down and record, go on a tour with me in New Zealand. So I wrote to Paul Keane from the Bats and the Enemy, and I asked him if he could. I think he wasn't in it. Was he in the Enemy or in the Tall? I might be getting them mixed up.
I think it might be Enemy. I have to check, but
okay, yeah, because there were a couple of bands Tall Dwarves that Paul was involved with
yep,
Chris.
Yep.
But anyway, so he was
Boy
in charge.
Love, maybe.
That's it. That's the one. Thank you for helping me with that. So I wrote to him and I asked him if he could help me get a show, and he said, I can get you a lot of shows because I do the university tour. So he hooked me up on that, and that really made it so that I could pitch it to the Calexico guys, saying, hey, we have a tour.
Yeah.
And then once you guys go back, I would like to record. So because or actually we were able to record a little bit while they were there, but a lot of the recordings happened after the boys went back to America. And so so that's kind of how it happened, where I took advantage of any opportunities I had to record with people. I also had a lot of cash on me. I just spent money.
There you go.
I just don't really have a very good sense of money. So it's if I have it, I'd like push it over to somebody else going, go for it. Let's do something with it. But ultimately it was a real challenge, because I had to keep myself really confident the whole time, even though inside I wasn't feeling it. I was like, what are we going to do today? How are we going to make up a song just like that? But I just felt like it was easy for me to get into this really intensive moment of thought. Like every time I went somewhere, like working with Chris or working with the 3Ds, or working with David Kilgore, or any of the people on the record I work with, I needed a chance to find that core songwriter in me that was really, really open to any other ideas, and then just make it happen, like no doubts, just go. And so that's why the songs were written so quickly. Writing with Chris was really fun, because I felt like he kept throwing. I don't know if he'd agree with me on this, and I'd love to know if I'd love to again. I miss him very much, and I feel like we could still communicate anyway, no matter, regardless of speech. But he kept putting obstacles in my way when we were recording, and then when he saw that I was able to deal with them, he was full on behind what we were creating that day. Nice. And then that very night, I recorded this song with Graham Downs. So in a way, that day was amazing, because two songs came out of it, super different from each other. Yeah,
very cool. All right, now jump forward to this new record you got coming out on December 8th. It's called, what is it? Charm of Yesterday, Convenience of Tomorrow. What does that all mean? Name, huh? Yeah, where did that come from?
Where did the title come from? Where did the record come from? Where did the whole thing come from?
The title.
The title came from a motel, and I don't remember the details of the motel, because this record came out within, like we were talking about it, the gentleman that owns Bada Bing Records, Goldberg, he and I were talking about how to put out a record quickly.
Yep.
And he had all these ideas and I loved them all. And so literally he would just showed me something. He was like, look at this picture. It's like a postcard of an old hotel. Do you like it? And I said, I love it. He goes, okay, we're going to use that as your cover, but we're going to draw it. So it's our own, we have the rights to it. And then next thing I know, there it is. And he goes, well, what do you want to call it? We could call it this. We could call it that. We could call. And I was like, let's name it what that hotel's got on a banner in front of their hotel, because I really like the meaning of it, the charm of yesterday and the convenience of tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, very cool.
What about today? I don't know. It's somewhere in between charm and convenience. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a delightful title.
So you say you wanted to make a record quickly, but that's a bit ironic since according to the press and stuff, this is your first solo album in 20 years. So in one sense, it's taken 20 years, and in another sense, you whipped it right out. Well, how do you think about it?
Yeah, it is really weird to do that, like have a record come out so quickly when you haven't put out anything in ages. But what happened is this: Ben, who is has a mind for promotion, he just does. And I have zero. Like my well of promotion is long gone and never used to have much in it.
Right.
Like pretty much, I think that's one of the reasons why I was let go of Matador, because I wasn't very amenable to promoting myself.
Gotcha.
But the thing is that he realized I have all these unreleased tracks, tons. I mean, there were now, I guess, 14 of them or something. And they were on Bandcamp, and I considered them, once I had put them on Bandcamp, as released, I guess I could say.
Yep.
They're called unreleased music. Here it is, released. And he figured out that since pretty small amount of people bought it over the 10 years that it's been online, that nobody's heard it. He's like, it's new. If there's these 90 people that paid for it already over these 10 years, then it's basically a new batch of songs. So let's make it into something special.
Yep.
And we'll have the 7 days of Barbara Manning leading up to your tour.
That's
which
right.
I just did an East Coast tour with Codeine.
Yep.
And I was thinking that is more promotion than anybody will have ever seen from me, at least since the Matador days.
Yeah. And so how did you feel about all this happening again? Because you've been working
wonderful.
as a drama teacher all along, right? So it's
well, the drama teacher, it's great you bring that up, because I'm really happy with my work right now. It's like love going to work. But the thing is, when I got back from Germany, when I was living with my band, the Go Luckies, and I decided that I wasn't paying for myself and I needed to have a real job, and that my music was never going to make me enough money to live off of, and that I can't just, I just can't live off of anyone else. I need to be sustainable.
Yep.
So I left Germany and I went back to America, and I started going back to school, and I thought to myself, I'd love to do music, but when I tried to get into the music program at the college, they were impacted. Too many people want to do it. So I decided, well, let's try something I don't know.
right.
And I was walking around the school, and I came up with being a scientist.
As you do.
Yeah. It wasn't a good choice, but I did it anyway. I got a degree in biology. And I was always, it's kind of weird when you do music and you have like, oops, wait, we have to watch this. Hold on. Oops. I didn't want you to miss the.
I didn't. Thank you for that.
I'm usually really good at what I do. Like if I do music, or I do theater, or I do a presentation, or things that are externally presented, I tend to do well. But when it comes to studying the deep core of science, I was always pretty much on the lower rung of the school or the class.
Right.
And that was frustrating to me, only because I don't like being there.
Right.
I want to be an expert. And so it was hard getting the degree in biology. But what I did accomplish was that I know so much now I never knew, and things make sense, and
Right.
I can explain it to people, and I love it. So I decided to go back to school again and get physics, because biology was being taught at the time in California to the younger students, the ninth graders, the youngest high school kids, which are the most annoying. And so I thought, well, it would be nice to teach a class to the upper grades and they'd be happy about it. And I got my physics credential, which really took a long time. It was a years long, every day, all through the winter, all through the summer. It was a intensive course that I passed.
Yep.
And as soon as I passed, two things happened. So now I have a credential in physics. I'm ready to go be a physics teacher to 11th and 12th graders. They changed it in California to ninth grade because I don't know why, because they decided to take the math out and teach it to ninth graders. So now I wasn't expecting that. I don't want to teach ninth graders. So then the other cool thing is I got hired because I also have a degree in drama and theater. And so out of the blue, somebody found out that they were looking for a drama teacher, and my name got brought up, and then I went to the interview and I just knocked it out of the park.
There you go.
I was sure that I was like, this is the drama teacher you're looking for right here.
Right.
And so I got a drama teacher job, and then now this is my second year doing it, and my principal, who calls me a unicorn, which makes me happy, is asked me to be the guitar teacher as well.
Oh, cool. So the music is coming back. It's kind of a full circle kind of thing in some ways, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I only played guitar for myself the last 10 years or 15 years. So, and even when I was playing it for others, there weren't that many people there.
Right.
So, yeah. So in a way, I mean, it wasn't that I was taking a hiatus from music, from writing, because it's my therapy, but I was not doing it for others because nobody seemed to care. So I was like, fine with that. So I concentrated on this other job. Yeah. But now I'm teaching guitar, what I see is, I mean, I'm learning so much about guitar, first off, and I'm also learning about what the students like and surprised by what their choices are and what influences them. And oh my God, and I just love seeing their love for guitar. It's amazing. Like to sit the first couple of days of me teaching the class, I was giggling, basically. I kept giggling. It's like 32 guitarists all playing. They're all really excited to just strum it and do something with it. They all have different levels of ability, but they're all doing it at the same time. And I'm just sitting back going, 32 of them. Like, how do I teach all of them? I like to make the joke about being the conductor of Glenn Branca, because he's a guy who usually puts on orchestras of guitars.
Right.
So I like to think of myself doing it, but with high schoolers who don't know they're in an orchestra.
Yeah, right. So let's. There's some pretty good guitar playing on this record that you're putting out, because I've heard it. And is it you playing? Like, there's a track called "Better by Bounds," which got a nice guitar solo in it. So who's playing? Is it all you? Is it somebody else? I don't know any credits or anything. All I know is what I hear.
Better by Bounds is, the song was played by some friends of mine in Chico, and we were able to get one of the legendary guitar players, Matt Hogan, to play on it, even though, I mean, he died like right after he recorded it, pretty soon after. He was bit by a spider and died.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, horrible. But he was one of the legendary guitar players, rockabilly guys from Chico, that was a great friend of mine. And so he played on it, and that was really special. But the other guitar player on those recordings, a lot of them are Loki Miller, who's just amazing. He's a special kind of person. He's like one of those prodigy guitar players, also an actor, but wow, what he does with guitar is remarkable. And then there's also another guitarist on some of those recordings called Tom Little, who was a sweetheart of mine for a few years. A lot of the songs are about that. But yeah, he's a really good. I like to think of like his fingers are always in knots when he's playing, because he does all these really neat leads that are like, how do you get your fingers wrapped around the fretboard like that? Are really amazing. And we shared a love for Nick Lowe and Rockpile. So
Right.
anything like that was something that he and I really enjoyed together.
Very
So
cool.
that's why we kind of have a little bit of that in the music.
Right. Do you know who's playing the guitar? There's a nice guitar solo in your version of Elliott Smith's Twilight.
That's me.
It's you. Nice one.
Thanks. I like to play guitar, a lead guitar a lot, and I'm learning as I teach the students. I'm always like a week ahead of them, but I'm learning all about scales and wow, just everything, like how chord progressions are built. And so I think it's going to enable me to do better leads in the future.
Yep.
I'm certainly telling the kids that. They're like, you're going to be a lead guitar player or a great bass player. Learn all these things. You've got to do it. Let's practice. Come on.
So do you look at the record in different sections? Like there's the Chico's days, and then there's the covers that you did. How do you?
Definitely.
Yeah,
I do. I mean, that's cool that the record works as a mix.
right.
Some people told me that already, and I'm like, okay, I believe you. When I listen to the music that I record, I cannot distinguish from the moment I recorded it. Like I can go back to that moment and exactly my emotional state, what I was thinking about, how I looked at the song, how I tried it. One of the songs, for instance, is that I still battle a little bit with myself over is the Edgar Winter cover I did, which is Living to Die.
Yep.
And I was feeling those lyrics at the time. I was really depressed during that time. And yet it was also a song that wasn't my style in the least, because it goes really high up. I don't really usually sing high notes. So it's sort of like when I hear my little trills, reminds me of the Beths.
Right. Oh, the Beths. Yeah. You know, the Beths.
But a little, like, oh, every once in a while. And I think to myself, oh, it's not that great, Barbara.
Some people say that values are subjective, but they're just speaking words someone else has said. And so they live and fight and kill with no objective. Sometimes it's hard to tell the living from the dead.
There's songs that I can, it's just really hard for me to listen to any of the songs without knowing what I was thinking at the time. I pretty much go back to that. And when I play them live, I try my best to also do it then, like to try to get exactly how I felt when I needed to interpret the lyrics.
Okay. All right. So the album kicks off with Don't Hold Back. Where were you when you did that?
I was in love with somebody who didn't love me back.
Oh, man.
Once you know that you love it, then you've got to speak proud of it. I love you, you love me. That rock of doubt that you're feeling, hesitant to be revealing, will push that boulder out of the way.
Yeah, I was in love. It was about the person who's playing on the record, actually. That's the best way to do it. I learned that from 28th Day, my first band with a boyfriend, is that if you want to say something, you can just write it in a song, make it a really good song, and then they hear it. But I wanted to write an optimistic love song because that's just never been something that was in my history. I didn't have very good luck with romance. Yeah.
And I loved you covered the Dylan kind of Birds track, Lay Down Your Weary Tune. That's a nice
I think
one.
that was the one that started us off. I think that was the beginning of the Porch series.
Lay down your weary tune, lay down the song you strum, and rest yourself next to strength of strings. No voice can hope to hum.
I remember I wanted to learn it. I had it in my head, and my husband loves the Byrds, and Dylan is his favorite artist. So
Okay.
we, the music is playing in the background somewhere anyway. But I had this song. The song was done by Matt Hogan, the guitarist that I was talking about earlier from Chico.
Right.
And he used to do a cover of it and loved it. I love that. I love his version. So I was like kind of wanting to hear it. And then I just tried my own version. And then that was sort of when my husband was like, his ears are perking up. He's like, that sounds great. Let's put it on let me get a microphone out.
Right.
I was like, oh, you're going to record me on the porch, are you? Oh, let me show you the porch. I'll show you.
Okay, let's see it.
I'm facing it. It's sort of the porch.
Oh yeah. That looks like the porch.
Yeah. And I'm out there sitting on the rocking chair and watching the animals. That's what I do.
Not bad. So the record's
Yeah.
due out on December 8th. What have you got planned for the day? Anything exciting?
Is it a Tuesday?
I don't know. I can check. Let me see. It should be a Friday. Usually records are out on Fridays. Let's see.
Are they?
It is a Friday. Yes, Friday it is.
When I worked at a record store, it was Tuesdays for some reason, their release dates. I don't know. What am I going to do on December 8th? I think probably, wow. All I can think about is John Lennon was killed like the next day or something.
That is right around that time. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
When I was 16. Oh boy, that was devastating.
Yeah.
Let me think. What am I doing? Nothing, just working.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And do you have plans to go back on the road and play these songs in front of folks?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I don't actually have the plans.
But you're going to do it. I love it.
Yeah, the willingness is there for sure.
All right. It sounds very cool. All righty. Very good. It sounds like it's all happening. You plan on coming back to New Zealand maybe?
Yes, I've been planning it ever since I left there.
Right. Okay. Well, you got to get.
Yeah, I have to go back. And the South Island's my favorite.
Yeah.
But there's no way I wouldn't stop in Auckland or Grayland.
Grayland, that's right.
For sure. Yeah.
It's the city's changed quite a bit since you were last year, so we'll have to show you around. Yeah.
Imagine. Yeah. Well, maybe Dunedin hasn't changed much.
Probably not. It still rains all the time down there.
I have so many incredible memories of being there. I mean, even in Auckland and going to the noodle house and
right. Yeah. That
everything. Like for some reason, those things are easy for me to recall.
Right.
Like I can just go there in my mind, just the smells and the sounds and the mugginess of it and the cicadas and
Yep. You got it.
everything. It's like I really felt like I belonged there.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll see you back here sometime soon.
I'll let you know. You'll be the first to know.
I appreciate that. All righty. Well, thank you very much for all of this. I love meeting your pets, especially the tortoise. I mean, come on. And have yourself.
Oh, and I want to make a shout out to the Sunday Painters too. Best album.
All right. Very good. And have a good Thanksgiving, whatever you're going to do the rest of it. If you're going to have a turkey.
See, I have a turkey right here. I'll show you.
Oh.
I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay.
I'm ready. I'm decorated.
You're ready. All right. Very good. Thank you so much.
Okay,
and good luck with everything. Right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.